So the game I'm playing today is called 400 Years. This is a short experimental Flash game that was uploaded to GameJolt back in 2013. I had discovered this on GameJolt, not in 2013, but I did find out about it a few years ago, because I think at the time it was one of the highest rated indie games on GameJolt. I think it's also one of the most played and most viewed games on GameJolt as well. And I wanted to play this game not just because it's an interesting take on the whole time manipulation mechanic that Braid popularized, but also because I uploaded like 5 or 6 videos in a row so far that are in excess of 40 minutes, and I just wanted to play something short and sweet this time. So in 400 Years, you play as an anthropomorphic Easter Island head. This Easter Island head has been asleep for quite some time, but one day he wakes up sensing that a calamity is approaching, and he has about 400 years to stop it, which seems like a long time, but the thing is, he's very slow. Not only that, but nature just does not cooperate with him at all. He takes a good century or so to actually stop the calamity. Now, what exactly is this apocalyptic event that he has to put a stop to? Well, I'm not going to tell you because that would spoil the story, so you'll just find out soon enough. Also, it is worth mentioning that this game is also available on Armor Games, but GameJolt is where I initially discovered it, so it's playable on there too. He woke up, sensing something. A calamity was coming. And then you use the left and right arrows to move. Yeah, so this is supposed to be like a very short, narrative-driven Flash game. To stop the calamity, he only had... Let's just move it along. 400 years. A game by Scriptwelder. Scriptwelder is also the same guy who created the Don't Escape series of point-and-click Flash games, which I may or may not play at some point. I'm not sure if I will, because frankly I'm not really that interested in point-and-click games, except for The Last Door, because if I had the opportunity to play The Last Door again, which I mean I could at any time, then I definitely would. So yeah, you're controlling this guy right here. At least I think he's an Easter Island head, or that's what he's supposed to be. But he can move around here with the left and right arrow keys. He can't jump, so that's his only downside, because he's just too heavy. I mean, he is like an Easter Island head after all. He's meant to be an inanimate object. He's basically a statue. He can walk underwater, as you can see. Water does not stop him, and he can't drown. However, there are some parts of the game where the water impedes his progress, but that can be easily remedied by one little mechanic we have here, which we're actually going to be introduced to right now. Sometimes to overcome an obstacle, he just had to wait. So, if we go down here, as you can see, we can't actually progress because we can't jump, so we just get stuck in the water. But then we can hold the spacebar to wait, and this is where the time manipulation comes into play. So we hold down space, and as you can see, the season changes. Now, if we hold it down for a prolonged period of time, it will cause the time to flow a lot faster. But we don't really want to do that right now, because we only have a limited amount of time to stop this disaster from happening. But now that it's winter, all of the ice has frozen. And one thing you can do is that you can go into the water and then change the season to winter, and you're basically stuck. But that's okay though, because you can just fast forward out of it. Sometimes to overcome an obstacle, he just had to climb a tree. So you can use the up and down arrows to climb. It's also very similar to Braid's climbing mechanics. Yeah, you just use the arrow keys to move around here. You can even move diagonally. We can climb this tiny little tree right here, but it's not tall enough for us to actually get up this ledge right here. So what we do is that we just wait for it to grow. And it takes quite a few years for it to grow, as you can see. We're actually waiting a little while. There we go. So now it's large enough. It is autumn now. So we've already taken like 15 years to save the world. So we're just taking our sweet time here. Also, he can fall down, and this happens. Yeah, but he can't actually take fall damage. But what happens is that when he falls off a high ledge, he just kind of face plants into the ground. But he doesn't get hurt by that. There is no health bar. There is no possible way to die. You're just here to soak in the atmosphere, pretty much. Sometimes the tree was in a wrong place. So then you have items. You can press the E key to pick up the chestnut, and then you can press E again to plant it. And I believe you can only hold one item at a time, or so I believe. So, now that we've planted the chestnut, we need to wait for the tree to grow, and once again, this will require us to wait a little while as the seasons change, as the seasons go by, and now we can climb up the tree, because it's large enough. Now we can get up this ledge right here. And then once again, we just need to wait for winter in order to freeze the ice over. We don't need to keep it to winter, but it's fine if we do, for now. And then we take a leap of faith right here, or we just fall off and bang our head and crush a bunch of people down here. As he visited the village, he saw that people were hungry, and they're also scared of me apparently, at least when I get near them. And that is one nice little detail though. When you walk towards them, they get scared and run away from you. So they are animated, they do have emotions. But yes, what we have to do now is that we need to go all the way over here while the water is still frozen. And then what we gotta do is that we need to speed up time because there is some wheat that'll grow right here. So what we gotta do is that we need to take the wheat grain, which we can do by pressing the E key. And then what we can do is that we can go all the way down into the water. This is on like a little slope. But there is a hidden passageway down over here that we can use in order to get back to the village. Because the thing is, if we fast forward time in order to make it go to winter so we can get back, it'll cause the grain to dry up and turn into dust. And we end up losing the item. And obviously we don't want to do that. So we're just going to take the alternate route. Now granted, it is a lot slower, but still. It still allows us to get back either way. So now we just go back over here, just got another, like shortcut. Then we can press the E key to plant the grain, which we can do, to this wall. Looks like we're planting it inside the wall, but we really aren't. And not only that, but they are infinitely reusable, like the items are. So if I just keep taking wheat, as you can see, it doesn't actually waste the wheat. So basically what we're doing here is that we have to plant some food for the little village right here. And then afterwards, we can watch as the village grows into basically a town as time progresses. And I believe that's all the wheat we can actually grow right here. Because I don't think there's any other place we can put it. Yeah, so if we go into winter, as you can see, I lose the wheat grain. But now all that wheat is going to grow here. Then now, as you can see, they have shirts on them, all of a sudden. So they have actual clothes now. And if we just wait a little while, eventually their village will start growing. Yeah, there we go. So their little huts are starting to become a lot larger, and eventually they'll turn into houses. And then you'll notice over here is that they actually built a bridge across the ocean right here, or across the river. But it's not fully complete right now, so I think once again we just need to wait a little while. Yeah, as the years go by, it just gets built more and more. And now there is a way to cross, but the only problem is that there is no way to get back down, like take the shortcut or anything. But that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly acceptable, because I believe we can just move on now. Or actually we can't, because we hit another roadblock right here, because there is no way for us to climb over that. We just end up getting stuck in the water. So I think once again this is going to require just a little bit more waiting. We also can't freeze this either, because again, we cannot jump. This doesn't give us enough height, so we just have to go back and we just have to wait a little bit. Because then, as you can see, as we fast forward time, they'll start building their village outwards, and now they are taking up residence over in this part of the forest, and they've also built a bridge that leads over the water right here, which means we can continue on. And there's not really anything else we can do with the village right now, so we just gotta leave them behind and just keep progressing with our journey. We're gonna save the world here. Right, so now that we're coming up to this section right here, so once again we're gonna have to freeze the water in order to get over here. There is one section here where we do actually need to go in the water in order to progress, because as you can see, we come up to this this very tall wall right here, which we can't get past no matter what, because the thing is, you can't climb on the normal trees right up here. You can only climb on the ones that have like multiple branches. So what we gotta do is that we need to stand, I think, right about here and unfreeze the water, and as you can see, he will just fall into the water. You lose complete control of the Easter Island guy right here as he's falling down, so you can't move him at all. Like I said, he doesn't take fall damage, so he's okay. He's just gonna go underwater. It's gonna go on a deep sea adventure right here. I don't understand how he can just walk in the water. It's like it has no collision whatsoever. Now he's inside a cave, and what we gotta do here is that we need to wait for these stumps to grow. And these actually take a very long time to grow, so we're gonna be waiting here for a little while. Yeah, you'll also see that he turns his back towards the camera, and to indicate that he's just waiting. You're just waiting patiently. Also, I noticed that the caves are changing color as well, which is something I didn't notice when I played this before. Now I believe they are grown enough that we can actually get up here. Or wait, are they? Okay, yeah, they are. They definitely are. We can just climb through them. And then we can just fall back down, or we can just climb down this one right here. Then we just unfreeze the water again. Just go down here. We just face plant multiple times. I don't understand why he can't just float downwards. And then we just walk up this slope right over here. Also really love this music. I mean, granted, the music is composed by Kevin MacLeod, which is like royalty-free music that pretty much everyone on the internet uses, but still. I mean, I'm not saying that Kevin MacLeod is a horrible music producer. He actually produces some really great music, and if you're looking for royalty-free music to use in any of your videos or your games, then I mean, he's the guy you pretty much go for. He has a great supply of royalty-free music that you can use, but I'm just saying, I feel like his music is maybe a little bit overused, but that's just my opinion. He's still a fantastic music composer regardless, but we come across another village over here. What we gotta do is we have to go and pick up these chestnuts. Now, actually, I think what I want to do here is that I want to pick it up, but I want it to be autumn. Or do I want it to be autumn? Because I don't remember, actually. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but during autumn, when all the leaves have fallen on the roofs of their houses, it kind of looks like they're covered in blood. Am I the only one who sees that? I really hope not. So what we can do now is that we can fall back into the water, because this doesn't spoil the chestnut. So that's fine. That is okay. Yeah, so we have this boat right here that has this, net descending down from it. So we just climb up the boat. And we need it to be autumn because the boat only appears on this side of the shore during the autumn. Its position changes every single time, but we want to plant the chestnut right next to the wall so we can actually get up this cliff right here. And once again, we just need to wait for it to grow. I really do like this effect right here, though, because everything just distorts. Kind of impressive that this was created in Flash, honestly. I really don't know how you get these kind of effects in a Flash game. So then we're just walking down over here, and I believe we should get another... Yeah, we get another story prompt at this point. He was getting close to his journey's end. And actually, I don't know if I could go back and get another chestnut, because there is something at the very end that I feel like it might be possible to get past if I were to plant a tree there. So I think maybe I could try going and getting another chestnut. Actually, hang on a second. Okay, no. The boat is docked over there, so I was just thinking about this, because I don't know if this will actually work or not. Oh wait, it might not, because this thing hasn't completely grown now. Wait a second. Will it grow back? Okay, yeah, it does actually. But I don't know if my other tree will still be there though. But I want to try something out. I want to try bringing a chestnut with me, just so I can attempt this, because I haven't tried doing this before, and I don't know if it's even possible, but we'll see in just a moment. Okay, so yeah, my tree didn't disappear here, so I'm just gonna see if I could possibly do this. I'm not even sure if there is a place to plant this, though, because there are only certain places where you can plant seeds on the ground. It doesn't give you the option to plant them anywhere, so I'm not sure if this will even work. So yeah, as you can see, this is a volcano, so the calamity we are attempting to stop here is the eruption of a volcano. It's going to erupt in about 254 years' time, but we're already at the end. Now I just want to see, like, if we go onto the right side here. Okay, yeah, there is actually a way to plant a tree here. Now I did not try doing this off screen before, so I just want to see if there is anything over here we can find, like if there's some sort of secret that I went past when I first played this. I didn't play this in a video, by the way, like I just played this off screen. I want to see if there's something over here. Yeah, it appears as though there is. Yeah, there's like a gravestone. What is that? There's like some sort of gravestone over there. I want to go and check that out. That looks very interesting. I have time to kill. Had to wait 13 years for the freaking tree to grow, but what is this? Here lies a traveler between worlds whose name is unknown. May his curious soul find a way home, like you have found his resting place. Was someone here before me then? So someone was over here. Were they attempting to stop a calamity in a past life? What am I even talking about right now? I'm not good at coming up with theories, okay? I'm not like frickin' Matt Pat making theories about why Logan Paul would win in a fight versus KSI and Joe Weller. Yeah, game theory. Like, look, I don't hate Matt Pat or anything, but I mean, I really miss the days when his channel was actually about covering theories of games. He's covering YouTube topics on his game theory channel. Like, again, I don't hate Matt Pat. I just don't really understand where exactly he's trying to go with his content as of late, okay? No hate, Matt. I actually really like your content, but I just don't understand what direction you're taking it in exactly, because I don't really know at this point. But basically, what we do here is that we get down into the lava here, in this volcano, and we have to press the spacebar to wait, and, well, that's the end of the game, actually. We just beat the entire game, guys. So we have to block off the flow of the lava, and we save the world. We stop the calamity from happening. So now the volcano's not going to erupt. It's just going to fast forward to present day now. Winter, year 2013. As a jet flies by. Because now we're in present times. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't pan back down to show you what the world looks like now. But that's just it. That's it. The end. So yeah, very short game, but it's really, really short and sweet. There's a short little game where you're basically playing as a golem, but a kind golem though. You know, just helping out the inhabitants of his island, helping out the villagers, getting them some food so they can actually sustain life, helping them build up their homes so that way they don't have such crappy places to live and they can expand outwards, and you know, just helping people out. And of course, saving the world from mass destruction. Sacrificing yourself so that way people can continue to live on the island in peace. They don't have to worry about the potential for a volcano erupting and their village getting destroyed and the whole world getting obliterated. I mean, the time manipulation mechanic is not exactly like Braid because you can only fast forward it, but it's still pretty cool because you can use it to change the environment around you, and a lot of times you do have to wait for different structures to be built up so you can continue on with your journey. For instance, the villagers building bridges so you can get across different bodies of water, and also planting trees and waiting for them to grow so you can finally climb up them in order to continue your journey. So even though it takes them like 15 in-game years to wait for all that to happen, in the real world it only takes like maybe 30 seconds, so you can just speed things up whenever you want. Now that's great and all, but you're probably wondering what would happen if I were to run out of time. Well, I am gonna show you, but I'm gonna warn you right now, it's kind of anticlimactic. At least I personally think it's anticlimactic, mostly because of how sudden it ends as soon as it begins. I'll show you very quickly what I'm talking about. Also, just in case you were curious, it's not possible to walk off this cliff right here and fall into the ocean. So, don't even bother trying, you're just blocked off by an invisible wall. Yeah, so as you can see, I just trapped myself underneath the frozen body of water right here, and now I can't get out. It doesn't matter because I'm just gonna stay right here and, fast forward time about 400 years. I will admit it does take a little while though, because it only cycles through about maybe 2 years every second. While I am fast forwarding this though, I do think it is really cool. Like, you see how the trees grow to their biggest size and then suddenly they just die? Like, they're reduced to nothing more than just tree stumps and then they disappear and then they regrow. Like, that's really cool. Like, you can manipulate time in order to see the environment change around you. So, I really like that. This game is really neat. I don't even know what genre this would fall under. I guess technically it's a walking simulator because that's mostly what you're doing. You're just walking around and there is no way to die, so I guess you could call it like a Flash game walking simulator. Or experimental, I'm really not sure. I guess it depends on your personal viewpoint. So I'm just standing over here staring off into space. So, you're about to see what happens when we do hit 0. And the world is going to end right about now. There it is. Yeah, so what happens is that the screen shakes, obviously insinuating that the volcano erupted. Too late, the world has burned to ashes, game over, and that's it. That's the only, like, little bit of animation that you get watching the volcano erupt. I'm not really sure what would happen if I actually stood near the volcano and fast-forwarded the time so that I could see it erupt. Maybe I would actually see an animation of it erupting, like the lava rising up and just spewing out everywhere, but I don't really care, and I'm not gonna play through the entire game again just to see that. So instead, I'm just gonna end the video here. So, like I said, it's anticlimactic. It's over almost as soon as it begins. You just get like a little shaking animation, and then you get this disturbing screen. And it says the world has burned to ashes. I don't fully understand how just one single volcano eruption destroyed the entire land. Like, I mean, it wreaked havoc across the entire Earth, like the Earth just got destroyed. It was basically another extinction event. Like, this must have been a pretty powerful volcano. That's all I have to say about 400 years. Short little Flash game about stopping an apocalyptic volcanic eruption, but most of the time you will just be waiting for things to happen. Like, you have to wait for not only the villagers, but also nature to help you out, and it it can take a little while. At least for the golem it can, but he doesn't care. He's doing whatever it takes to save his people. He's a true hero indeed, making a noble sacrifice for his land. And his journey concludes with him climbing down into a volcano and burying his face into a pool of hot lava. But then again, he's made out of rock, so he can handle it. This is the kind of stuff he was made for. I guess if you want to play the game with just only one advertisement appearing, like you can get the game to load in a screen where it just shows a pre-roll ad and then it shows nothing else on the side, because that's the problem Armor Games has. It's just advertisements all over the damn place, covering like 1/3 of the screen. So I would just recommend playing this on Game Jolt actually, so maybe I'll just link you guys to that instead. I mean, you can visit the Armor Games website from the game itself. Like, the Armor Games logo appears on the main menu when you load the game up for the first time, and you can just click on it and you'll immediately be taken to Armor Games. So whatever, just play the game. It's really cool. I like it. I really need to start playing much shorter games on my channel like this, because I've been uploading far too many long videos as of late. I understand that YouTube favors longer videos nowadays because they changed their algorithm so that watch time is a lot more important now than actual view is. But then again, that's pretty much the reason why animation channels ended up dying out, so it didn't fix jack shit, honestly. But anyway, I'll cease my criticisms now. Go play 400 Years and see for yourself what sort of accomplishments you can make using just Flash. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video I make. Later!